Hamu from Niger, Abubakar Ousmane Fousseni also from Niger, and Nafissatou Shitu from Benin make up the Lions men and women for today. Fourth official, Vincentia Amendome from Togo. And don't forget, we do have a video assistant refereeing, so any mistakes can be rectified. Two teams with two different reasons for that victory. And it's certainly going to be a spectacle out here on this delightful pitch, like a lawn of green here in Casablanca. Makes for fast, attractive football. South Africa having never won the Under-17 African Cup of Nations against Cameroon, as we attend the national anthems of both sides.
Gabriel with a searching ball. Keane. Dukure. Forward it goes. He's made sure that that won't get through. Rice. Partey. Rice. Partey. Odegaard. Partey. Odegaard. Timber. Lovely bit of skill. So who's he picking out? Is very sporting here to acknowledge the quality of the save. A lovely little footballing moment. Dukure. Harrison. Sprayed out wide. Alafiori can get it clear. Driving on, he could shoot here. No foul, says the referee. Saka. Timber. It's always a good time to register and lay down an early marker in the second half. They clearly had exactly that in mind and have gone about their business with absolutely the right commitment. Ashley Young. Keane, McNeil looks to get on the end of this. Dukure, Idris again. More than happy to take the muscular approach. Ashley Young. Tarkowski. Ashley Young. Dukure. Rice, to step in there, was more than necessary. Now it's Partey, goes for it! A real chance and a real let-off. Arsenal just served up a reminder of how good they can be on the break. Their method is clear. Tarkowski, Dukure, Ashley Young. Assist to his name. Idris again. Harrison. Harrison clips one through.
With the correct anthems out underway. The stage very much set. The Amachimbos were electric against Egypt, scoring 4 well-worked goals, but their defence nearly let them down, and coach Vela Kumalo wants his team to replicate their attack verve, but shore up that back line against Cameroon's aerial and physical threats. As for Cameroon themselves, they've got their goalkeeper, Junior Lopez Abu, as well as the same defence that started against Burkina Faso. In fact, it's an unchanged lineup in total, with number 6 David Bimang Yangono, who scored the consolation goal rather against the Burkinabe men. A very similar looking defence and bench as well, with some exciting attacking play to come off of it, and 2 goalkeepers. A lot of players from the Cameroonian academies, in fact every single one of them coming from the local sides. It's a similar story for South Africa, and we'll see that just now. They'll be looking to Andre Mini and Frank Luma, one of the standout performers in their qualifying campaign. The number 7, knowing that he can get the goals. They were absolutely dominant on their way here to the under 17 African Cup of Nations.
Tell you, Peter, that he has to do
Cameroon,
better, especially from
absolutely demolishing the DRC, the Central African Republic, who did qualify along the way. And they'll be hoping that they can find their goal-scoring prowess once again. Alium Saidu, their coach, said that they know that this is a must-win match, and they'll be hoping that VAR doesn't have to come into it. Dorsal Kanwati, the head of this particular match, in the box. As for South Africa, that man in picture, just the one change from that opening victory over Egypt. Soleto Radebe, the SuperSport United goalkeeper, comes into the fray. Formidable midfield, with Kamogelo Mareletse and Tebogo Mlangeni anchoring in that particular slot. And then Selwyn Stevens, Emile Witboy and Simpiwe Mlondo just behind Neo Bokloko. Up in attack, Bokloko, whose 2 penalties managed to salvage at least what looked to be an equaliser, until Emile Witboy came up with that delicious winner. And that means, of course, that Keabetswe Morake, the goalkeeper who started off against Egypt, he drops down to the bench, the number 20. Captain again by Bokamoso Mokokosi, Kaizer Chiefs central defender. He knows what's at stake here. South Africa, if they win, can maintain their record, but they've never won 2 consecutive matches in a group in the Under-17 African Cup of Nations, so this would be a first for them. The indomitable Lions, 2 times champions, get us underway.
Saliba, Odegaard,
starting from left to right, and a first touch already for Junior Lopez Abu.
hoists it forward.
Goes on to Christian Tamak,
Gabriel,
the 17-year-old who did receive a yellow card against Burkina Faso. In fact, 3 of their defence sitting on a yellow after that first match.
Rice
Decide to go straight down the line, and this is an area they'll look to exploit Cameroon. South Africa, knowing that they may be physically outmatched by their Central African opponents. So along the ground is the route for them to get the win. Cameroon doing well to maintain possession in the early exchanges, as Singala Bide just passes off to David Nyangono, the goal scorer against Burkina Faso.
loose ball.
No, Dumbongo does well, and he still manages to help maintain the overlap. South Africa clear. Back into the midfield space by Joel Merlin Biwol. And now Cameroon lose out into the midfield, and an early free kick won by Kamogelo Mareletse, the Mamelodi Sundowns midfielder, doing well to position his body just in front of the oncoming adversary player.
Who's going to get there?
Was Oscar Etundi from Academy Foot, who conceded that foul. South Africa just looking to work it up the pitch, and Alium Saidu
He's had a go!
at the help once again.
Well, what can I say? Truly wonderful goalkeeping.
South Africa just playing it on the ground, and a first participation for Soleto Radebe. Trying to work it in the small spaces in the midfield. South Africa, they get caught on it though.
Looking for space.
Goes out to the Cameroonian wing. Here's Oscar Etundi, the number 3, looking for options. Has to play it back to his fullback, An early cross comes in and just stabbed up by the defence of South Africa. To the attack, and Majimbo's trying to retain possession, unable to there. Haven't really come to grips with the speed of the game, and it's a dangerous pass back from Tumi Motapa. Nearly put his team in all sorts of issues there. The Orlando Pirates fullback.
And it's got through. Up to meet it!
Had to just play it clear, but it's resulted in a Cameroonian corner. And it's going to be taken by David Bondomba. The 15-year-old looking interested over the ball. As a referee, Sadou Brahamou from Niger. Just make sure that everyone behaves themselves in the 18-yard area. Here's the corner coming out. It's an out-swinging right footer, and it should be punched away. It is, but Cameroon still haven't arrived in the box, and now finally it is cleared.
Harrison
goes all the way back to the number 16 goalkeeper.
He's
the number 1 goalkeeper is a 16-year-old.
Oh, real chance!
Nicely played through the lines again. The Indomitable Cubs starting well.
Chance to play it in.
They've earned themselves another set piece here. And set pieces will be the way of the game, no doubt, for the side in green. That pass back really wasn't needed.
His reputation is better than what we've just seen.
Extremely difficult to control for Radebe, but he did well at least to just clear it anywhere will do in that kind of situation, and he's managed to do so.
And it's played forward. Keane cuts it
Possibly
out.
a chance wasted though for the Cameroonian attack. Rondo and Stevens in the wall for South Africa, but it's unlikely that they'll be employed here. It's going to be taken by the left foot of Etundi. Etundi goes and it's headed back for another corner kick. Mokogosi taking no prisoners with that, and Vela Kumalo, the Kaizer Chiefs reserve coach as well, just looking on somewhat impatiently with the start that his side has made. Cameroon dominating the early exchanges. Hoping that this is a sign of things to come. The Cubs, who just were unable to really impose themselves against Burkina Faso. And now the cross comes in. It's a very good looking ball. It has to be dealt with. Calls for another free kick, and it is given again by referee Brahamou.
To make that interception.
Frank Luma, or it was actually Mark Bendelek, absolutely clattered there.
Rice is the guilty party.
You just see that chance again.
It's always going to be the keepers. Gabriel.
So Cameroon in the ascendancy. A free kick from around 25 meters out.
Saka.
And David Nyangono has already found the back of the net already this campaign. But it looks like he might leave it though for Oscar Etundi, the left footer. There's every chance though that it might just be a pile driver right down the centre. He does go straight for goal. It has to be palmed away. Radebe equal to it.
Plenty waiting in the middle. Delivers across.
Quick free kick and free throw-in rather. Cameroon just first to every ball so far. South African defence has so far failed to wake up from their
that's neat.
late night sleep, it seems.
Rice.
Looking to play on the counter-attack here. Cameroon, Dumbungo does well.
Chooses to go back. Now it's Havertz.
Back to goalkeeper Junior Lopez.
Retrieved, albeit perhaps momentary. Odegaard.
And finally,
brilliant interception.
Amajimbos do earn themselves a free kick. Just see that tipping shot. And Radebe.
Ashley Young.
absolutely equal to it. Soleto, Rwandiso Radebe. Almost Rodwin Williams-esque in his stature. He's hoping to at least provide the kind of performance that the Bafana goalkeeper managed during his African Cup of Nations campaign.
Forward it goes.
Cameroon, though, still with the ball in the midfield spaces, and they're finding the gaps at will.
Forward. Harrison.
South Africa just not really getting stuck in quite yet. Binde passes back to Lopez.
Helps available out wide.
Who's not shy to go long.
And he's there to clear it.
He knows that the first ball is crucial. And Cameroon still have it. And it is called back for a free kick. Likely to be taken by the captain, Mokokosi. One of several Kaiser Chiefs Academy products for the South African side. A bit of an unorthodox challenge, but it was deemed that Bandelek did foul his man, and again the goalkeeper put under pressure. Cameroon looking for the space, trying to see if they can manufacture a shot. And Radebe has to get down again.
Gabriel is there to heave it away.
Calm needed in the ranks of the South African defence.
And that's a throw.
Completely unlike what we saw against Egypt. Mareletse and Mlangeni have hardly touched the ball.
Lings it across. Lenko.
Might do so here, as long as they don't lose their composure.
Now it's Trossard.
And the tackle from behind, and maybe a little bit of breathing space.
Havertz.
Emil Witboy will be hoping to get more of the ball there. Radebe doing well to at least spread himself and close the angle.
Odegaard. Timber.
Free kick comes and they decide to play short, using the fullbacks here, South Africa. Mlondo looking for options.
Odegaard.
But he's being hounded off of it. Really good play by Luma.
Odegaard.
And in the end, Simpiwe Mlondo
gets rid without sophistication.
Doing well to at least get something from that. The man who, well, the young boy really, the 16-year-old who scored in the first minutes against Egypt. Cameroonians headed down, get it down onto the pitch, and really breaking at pace. They've got such good areas that they're trying to exploit here. It's all Cameroon so far. They play it all along the ground, and this might be another chance to get the ball upfield, but now South Africa can clear their lines. It comes back in though. Still has to be dealt with as Frank Luma latches onto the ball. Number 7 looking to toy with his fullback, and he does get around him to an extent, but it's well defended in the end. It still comes into the box. Cameroon looking to turn.
Quick pull forward.
And somehow South Africa survive with a little toe poke through, and they might be through on the break here. Showing great pace through Witboy.
Brushed off the ball there.
Does dink it over, and that was nearly tremendous. Very neat chest down, that's brilliant control.
Oh, he'd have done well to reach that.
And looking to go over the top of the South African defence now. Headed back. Cameroon just trying to get it down on the ground through Nyangono. And up and under, some good hand time. They still win the first ball, the Indomitable Cubs.
A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
Finally, he might settle with Biwole. Biwole goes again. Trying to go over the top, but it seems like he was thinking 2 steps ahead of his attacker, David Bondomo. Just staggered his run. Radebe, well, South Africa have survived that initial onslaught, and it remains to be seen whether they can exploit that now. They might be through here. Well, needed some trademark Cameroonian defence, but South Africa still could pick up their second balls, pick the toes of the Cameroonians. They do well to recover. Now find Oscar Tundi. Dumbogo doing well and just slips over the ball again.
Harrison.
Foul called on Sipiwe Mlondo.
Play for the throw.
Mamelodi Sundowns winger just shoved off of it. Tapo quite lucky there that Noel Dumbogo, the academy foot player, just lost his footing. And a hand in the throat from Oscar Tundi, given as a foul. 13 minutes gone here.
Well, what goes through a player's head at times like that is a mission.
Alium Saidou, the current coach of Cameroon, an economist. Well, not really, no, sorry, that is the referee, but down just the ball nearly making its way to the goal. And that's a much better pressure being shown by Amajimbos up top. Zimela keeps possession, plays it short, and that's better work by South Africa, but it just evades the midfielder. And immediately looking for his options and plays it short into the midfield again. Switching play, they go for the long range effort. It's always rising over the bar.
Goes looking.
Taking it on his left foot, Sean Merlin. Biwol.
Rice.
And his back was always facing to the sky, and that's why
Gabriel
the ball rose over the bar there.
Very well to intervene.
Sivepama tries to find his winger. South Africa, Dinklage. But it's quickly taken off of their toes again. Cameroon just pressurising in all the areas which are profitable here. Etundi is back into the midfield shape, and this is much better work here by the Cubs than what we saw in the first match. Playing it short, making the most of their possession.
Good challenge, he just stood firm.
That loss in the opening game has now seen them go winless in their last 4 group games at the finals. They drew their final group game back in 2019 against Senegal, 0-0. Let's remind you, Cameroon. So looking to rectify that, having then lost to Mali and Burkina Faso in the 2023 group stages.
Rice.
A victory here would put them right amongst the race for qualification. They've started much brighter between the two sides. This time the channel cut out by Motapo. It was just hooked clear by South Africa's central defence, and a turn and strike. Does well to get down to his left, Radebe.
Harrison. Nikolenko. Keane.
Cameroon come again. Oh, it's off the post.
Tarkovsky.
A ferocious effort, and what technique it was. Counting their lucky stars here.
Whipped in.
Amajimbos. And Bella Kumaro really has to get his team alert, because Cameroon are playing magnificent football here.
3 without reply. This is becoming a strong.
That foul given by Selwyn Stevens, a shove on the back of Makrene Bandelek. But it would definitely be worth second viewing at that effort. That just cannoned for Radebe's upright.
Into a great position.
Taking it again here, Dumbogo. He's so physically powerful. And that pass into no man's land. There's the 16-year-old who's quick throw. Looks to get Cameroon off on their way again. Nyangoro just pressurised into giving what we all thought might have been a goal kick, but then it does turn out that he's done well to win a corner. Here's a look at that strike. What an effort it was. Almost Thierry Henry-esque against Manchester United all those years ago.
Great strength, too strong for his opponent.
A little flick up and strike on the turn.
Gets it back.
Corner comes in and it has to be well dealt with, and it is.
Saka.
Appeals for handball, not given though. South Africa looking to just use their speed, but Cameroon all over them, just swarming
for getting something
over the South African attack. To be careful that the passes do reach their players here. Junior Lopez. That's brilliant work here in the fullback position. Etundi looks for his options. Comes out wide to Bondoma. Etundi again. Let's go for the cross, and it's punched out again by Radebe.
And it's played forward.
Another effort from distance.
To be better there. It's a wasted chance.
Cameroon just racking up the shots here.
Tarkowski plays it forward.
And it all started losing that ball in the midfield. Getting their shape all wrong, and what a stunning effort it was.
Lovely feet.
By Andre Mini.
That's a case of crossing it home.
The ZB forward.
Unless they provide some more options, it'll be more missed.
Doing ever so well to get it nearly on target. Now South Africa finally work up some territory of their own.
And it's young.
Dumbogo, who's proved such a menacing threat down this right-hand side.
He's gone for it!
Now being called to defend and help his team make sure that they keep their sheets clean. Little dig pass through, and South Africa looking to pressurise Junior Lopez for the first time. But he's quickly played it out, and might just bounce quite kindly for Cameroon still. Here's Luma. Does excellently to get past the fullback again. Uses his pace, and South Africa do manage to just win it back in a crucial position. It just seems like the spaces between the defence and midfield are a bit stretched here for Amajimbos, but they do well to run it up here through Mlondo. Hasn't been able to do that for much of the match. Finally, Mlangeni gets on the ball.
He's looked long this time.
Tapo passes it back into the midfield.
That'll go straight through to the keeper.
Over the top now, has to watch his line. Still has it though, Bokloko. Corner kick given. Finally, we see the Kaiser Chiefs forward in a bit of action there.
Harrison.
We'll just see. Well, it was a very tight thing, wasn't it? We wouldn't have been surprised had the flag gone up there against the Bokloko.
Saka.
As he was about to prepare for that shot, Tristan Tamak sliding in, and a really thumping challenge has resulted in a corner kick. South Africa's first of the match.
Saka. Just got up to 75 minutes.
Playing it short before the ball comes in earnest, and now it does get whipped in, and it is a free header over the bar.
Partey. Rice. Plays it out to the wing. Over to the left. Now it's Rice.
Fantastic leap it was just initially, but it might have put off Njambula Mzimela.
Now it's Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, excellent control of the midfield, but just unable to get it back. But they might be helped out by the South Africans here. Cameroon looking to just play it over. Radebe alert to it once again. South Africa, all previous 18 of their games have resulted in goals. They are yet to be involved in a 0-0 draw. So you can expect that there will be a ball hitting the back of the net in this one as well.
And he's there to cut it out.
Just look at this counter pressure from Cameroon's attack, closing out and suffocating the spaces for the Majimbo defence, and it's resulted in a bit of a sore one for Mareletse.
Harrison. They just
got a knee on his backside, and it seems like that's what's led to him And just going down. Well, that's a real giveaway of a free kick, and they have to cut those mistakes out.
Partey drives it forward.
Zimela, too casual in that pass. To Radebe now. And Mokokosi does well to find his fullback, Pama. Cape Town City, right back. Passing it through the midfield now, finally. Some sustained possession from men in the yellow and green. Selwyn Stevens might just dink it through. That's better play, Mareletse.
Over to the other flank.
They've weathered the storm, it seems, South Africa. Here's the 16-year-old again, Mareletse. A crucial player, providing the anchor, the base of the midfield. Brilliant stuff from Witbooi. South Africa are through here. They're looking for a penalty.
That is lovely.
But it's just deemed physical.
Time to deliver.
Nothing more.
Receives it in a good position. Puts it
An
across.
honest shoulder challenge on
To be honest, I think they're all showing no substance. Where's the final product?
Well, we'll just see. Well, it doesn't even look like he was touched there by Noel Dumbongo.
Calvert-Lewin.
I can't even see any contact whatsoever. And Mlondo possibly lucky to get away with a simulation. But we will wait for the decision from the referee. No, it's a play on, just as we suspected. And judged the ball well there, Motsapo.
Rice.
And that's allowed Dumbongo to just get in ahead of his man, but the Orlando Pirates fullback
hoists it forward,
managing to get a second bite, and he's just hustled again.
They need precision, and it's sadly action.
Owes his midfielder, and now South Africa can break in numbers, trying a Trivela pass out wide, but doesn't come off. Needed to do something a little bit more simple there.
Odegaard. Rice. Odegaard.
Headed to safety by Sive Pama.
Saka. Timber. That is terrific.
Back to Radebe, who is very good with his feet. Let's remind you, and just shown there by that pass. Here's Witbooi. Just go through the lines. It's a very decent ball as well.
Odegaard.
And ultimately well dealt with by Ntamak.
Managed to get it away. Ashley Young. Idris again.
And the ball comes South Africa's way again. That's better along the ground.
Rice. Calafiori.
Doing themselves a free kick. Witbooi looking to get up and running. He's extremely fast, and they take it again without the referee watching. But he lets it slide. Selwyn Stevens back to his fullback there. Well, at least his midfielder. Zimela hasn't looked altogether too comfortable on the ball so far this match from Zimela. But manages to find his man with that particular ball. Decently picked up by Cameroon now. And a slip and a slide. Presents itself back to the South African goalkeeper. Cameroon, that loss against Burkina Faso, they had 69% of possession.
Rice.
So it just shows you that for all their worth and for all their dominance, they have to be careful. That's very neatly played into the midfield. Just couldn't get it through past the defender. Cameroon standing strong in the mid. And Oscar Tundi comes out with the ball. Very well controlled and looking for that overlap here. Tundi comes again, full of running, full of pace.
Rice goes looking.
And a little toe.
Saka
in South Africa
on the move.
Emerged from danger unscathed.
Away from immediate danger.
Astonishingly, that win for South Africa against Egypt, the first time that they've actually won their opening game at the finals. They've drawn twice and lost twice.
Keane plays it forward.
And you would have thought that would have given them some confidence, but Fela Kumalo looking quite concerned there on the touchline.
On the right now, what's on? Gabriel positions himself
just
well
barking out instructions as the players take a brief drinks break. Hot conditions here in the mid-afternoon in Casablanca. At this 35,000 capacity stadium. A brilliant venue at that, and we'll see it employed for many matches to come. Cameroon enjoying more possession against South Africa, as was the case against Burkina Faso. Have to be careful, because as we saw in that match, it resulted in a loss. Although let's not forget the way that happened.
The worst cross in the world,
quite
but still room for
outstanding goal by Ashraf Tapsoba from behind his halfway line, contributing to that goal. But look at that effort, the effort of the game so far by Andre Mini. And then a header by South Africa. And Jabula Mzimela just didn't time his jump well, and possibly distracted by his own teammate in front of him as that came through. The game's back underway. Rumlondo cuts inside as an inverted winger. Just lashes out though. Cameroon picks it up from Emini. Does well with this hold-up play. Lays it off. Tries to bypass the fullback and does well to find Bandelek. Bandelek again. And that's better play by Sibe Pama.
And the finish!
Biwole.
Finish in the end.
And it's back to Cameroon's defence. He hasn't been there. Decides to go for the diagonal. Not too much purchase on that pass. Well, the ball does come in, and it's chested, and well, that's a really calm and collected defending from the captain, and it had to be. South Africa still get it back here through Mariletse, and he's fouled.
Rice, Saliba, Partey, Havertz pushes to get on the end of it.
Between Mariletse and Mlangeni. It's the shape of the South African team. Still lacking a traditional defensive midfielder though.
Keane.
Two number 8s really asked to partner instead. And it's something that was flagged by Fela Kumalo. He said that his side just had to trust the way that they played against Cameroon, knowing that the ball needs to be kept on the ground. Unlike that, because it's exactly where the indomitable Cubs can show their pedigree. Here's Stevens. His father was a professional footballer as well in South Africa.
Just got a little carried away with himself there. He knew he could have clinched it.
He's around the outside, doesn't find his fullback, Motapo. Just stranded. And now Cameroon look to get the shot away.
Sit forward.
They're not going to make any further progress now.
He should have done better. Given the chance manufactured for himself, David Mbondoba.
Havertz.
The Oyili striker. Attacking midfielder.
Away with one there. Well, it was just some
excellently controlled. He didn't wrap his foot around it like ours.
To say, a very lucky escape. You lose it there, you expect to be
maybe
punished.
You have to give credit to Okamoso Mokogosi. Just putting off the striker, and it still comes back in. Cameroon. South Africa's defence at 6s and 7s. And the goalkeeper makes an outstanding save onto the roof of the net.
Good run.
It looks like the flag, though, would have called that offside.
Crowd appreciates good football all round there. Odegaard plays it forward.
But there's nothing that Radebe knew about it. We'll see here. Well, it did squirm its way through to David Nyamgono. Nonetheless, it did come off a South African boot as well. He was standing in an offside position, so ultimately it wouldn't have counted. But Soleto Radebe with an absolutely outstanding block nonetheless. And that can only give him confidence as we pass the half-hour mark here. 32 minutes just over played at the Larbi Zaouli Stadium.
Odegaard.
Foul again on the South African defence. A really physical side. Cameroon here.
Steered forward. Tries to get it clear.
Odegaard.
Mokokosi just wrangled to the ground.
Saka. Timber.
Trying to get the ball on the turf, but South Africa unable to do so, and Cameroon profiting off of it. Going along with the cross.
Laid out to the right.
And that time Watapo does well to just shield it behind.
Rice. Out to the left it goes.
That goal against Burkina Faso for Cameroon, ending a run of 5 successive games in which they had failed to score at the finals. They'd gone 524 minutes without a goal until Eyong scored in that 75th minute against Burkina Faso. Still looking for the breakthrough here.
Well, that's a real shame because it could have led to a real momentum
straight
shift.
into the midfield, and it's given away, and that's well capitalised by Cameroon. Some calm defending once again by the captain. Hardly being helped there by his defensive partners. And lashes the shot. Clear once again. Mlondo has to use his body strength. Good low centre of gravity by the number 11. Emil Witbooi, who's hardly had any of the ball. We know how dangerous he can be, and so does South Africa. They really wish he was on it more.
Really well to intervene. And
cross just played straight to the hands or the feet of Radebe. He passes out now. Pama finds Mlangeni and does well with his body positioning. Also to turn the on-rushing midfielder.
Odegaard.
It's really interesting to see the way that Cameroon close out the spaces using their attackers, defending from the front. And look at that, somehow it's managed to squirm through. Dumbogo doing excellently well, pushed from the back by Emini. South Africa can break. Selwyn Stevens looking for the long ball.
He's gone for it.
That's not really going to trouble the back line of the Cubs there, but it might do so if they give the ball away. Stevens back to Bokloko.
Idrissa Gueye goes looking, hoists it forward.
Cross into the midfield there, excellently done by Mlondo. Now finding Witbooi. Witbooi, who recently made his debut for Cape Town City. The youngest ever player to do so for the Cape Town-based club.
Nicely controlled. And it's to Kure. Ashley Young.
The referee has just seen one of the Cameroonian players hit the turf, hence the reason for the stoppages.
Havertz.
It's not exactly clear what's happened to Marc-René Badelec, but he seems to be in a bit of pain there. Well, it's actually Frank Luma, the best Stars winger. They won't want to lose him, of course.
Saka.
So critical in their qualification rounds.
Delivery. Strong touch.
The highest goal scorer with 8 from 3 matches in the Unifak qualifiers.
Nikolenko. Calvert-Lewin. Hoists it high.
He's just being helped off by medical staff, and this would be a big blow to the indomitable Cubs.
Some magic on the
if he
right
does
side.
have to leave the pitch for good. Cameroon playing with 10 for now, as Junior Lopez gets the ball deep down the pitch.
Odegaard.
Working it back to defence, and again, the pressure nearly paying.
Odegaard.
Partey.
Odegaard.
Africa look to go to the wings this time. They are
Plays it forward.
a team full of pace. None faster than Neo Bokloko.
Throw it.
Junior Lopez out to his centre-back, Singala Mbinde.
Calvert-Lewin.
as well to lay it off short. Here's Dumbogo. Dumbogo again collected, passes off to his winger. It's excellent play by the fullback. Bondoma now able to switch play. It's a bit of a slippery surface, and look how well they're doing here. Dumbogo, number 12, driving forward in unfamiliar territory. Appeals for a handball from the crowd mostly.
Intercepts. Timber goes upfield.
Cameroon still have it though, riding the challenge, and the referee waves play on.
Gabriel Rice, has he found his man?
Headed back into the mids, and finally South Africa trying the long option again. Well, they're being sucked into the game plan of Cameroon, hardly playing the way that Vela Kumalo had anticipated.
Calvert-Lewin.
And a substitute being readied here.
Better contact.
And a really sad one for Cameroon themselves. It is going to be Arnold Masoko who comes onto the field, forward from Best Talent.
Timber.
And he replaces Frank Luma, who will be desperately unhappy at having to leave the pitch.
No, that is pretty
One
much
of the
end of
Indomitable
that.
Cubs' best options at breaking the deadlock.
Neil. Idris again. Keen. And it's played
And
forward.
Arnold Masoko, who was a substitute against Burkina Faso,
Plays it out to the wing.
comes on for his second appearance, the 15-year-old. On this final, not quite clear exactly what happened to Frank Luma.
By stopping the crosser at source.
At least he's on the bench and
Challenge. He just
doesn't seem to be in too much pain as things stand. No, Bokloko also has to shake off a niggle here.
Rice. Get the better of his
Just seemed to get his toe stood on there. Young Kaiser Chiefs forward.
Ashley Young.
His 2 penalties against Egypt. His only 2 shots of the game in that particular encounter.
Idris again.
But they proved so vital. Now, Mlondo.
Laid back in.
South Africa will hope that with Cameroon's number 7 now off the pitch, they can at least enjoy it without too many worries. Like giving the ball away in such a good position. Here's Cameroon. It's 4-on-2 here. They should open the scoring. But for the brilliance of the goalkeeper once again. So Leto Radebe is on fire. And showing what a big miss he was against Egypt.
Play, and it is a goal kick.
But his defence can't carry on being bailed out by their goalkeeper. Spreading himself.
Keen.
And an absolute masterful display there. The trouble's not over yet. But he makes the pitch. Can at least enjoy it without too many worries. Like giving the ball away in such a good position. Here's Cameroon. It's 4-on-2 here. They should open this. The ball just sticking to Cameroonian feet here.
Chip through.